The OT Practice Kids is a private occupational therapy practice. We have nationwide coverage of highly experienced and specialist paediatric occupational therapists. As human beings, we're all sensory beings. We interact with our environment through all our senses, and if there's anything going wrong in the way that we're processing that information, it affects our daily life and the way that we can interact with our environment and the people around us. For children, that means it impacts on their learning and their development.
Before working with the OT practice, I just felt totally out of my depth. Every morning was just a battle, from brushing teeth, brushing hair, getting his school uniform on, getting his shoes, socks and coat on to get out of the door was just traumatic for the whole family. During the day at school, Ben obviously has to contain all of these anxieties because he has to be clothed with his shoes and socks on. And he also has problems with distractions and sounds in the classroom. It's really hard for him to focus and concentrate. So he bottles up all of these anxieties during the day at school. And when he was getting home, we would just have firstly the rush to get his uniform off, and secondly just the meltdown of all this anxiety pouring out of him, and that was the cycle of our life.
I don't really like wearing labels because it itches the back of my neck, and I prefer bare feet to socks and shoes because I don't like that. I find it really difficult in class because I can always hear the scraping of chairs on the floor and the books turning, pencils scratching. I just can't concentrate properly.
So there's obviously the 5 different senses that everybody knows about: smells, sight, touch. There's also other senses that aren't so well known that influence and impact on children's coordination, knowing where their body is in space, processing of movement. All these things affect different aspects of their life. So for example, being able to sit still in a chair, if their brain is craving movement, they're unable to sit still, which means they're unable to learn at school, they're unable to focus. Children's nervous systems, which process the sensory information, can either be under-responsive or over-responsive. So somebody who is craving a lot of movement, if they're not getting that movement and are unable to concentrate, we need to find ways throughout their day where they can have movement breaks or get that intensity of movement so that they're not craving it while they're meant to be working.
Since we've been in touch with the OT practice and been working with them, I can really see a much happier future for Ben and for the family. We had quite a lot of support from the OT practice, writing a programme for Ben, implementing the programme, and they were there as a constant support for us as a family. And now he's settled into his new routines and coping strategies brilliantly. But next year he moves up to secondary school, so we already know that the OT practice is going to come and help with that transition. Our minds are at ease knowing that the OT practice are there for us, not only in this next big transition, but in the future.
Our practice is quite unique, that we will come out to the child in their own environment. We believe that's the best place to work with the child. It's the environment that they're in on a daily basis and the environment that they're having the challenges within. And then we can also work with the child in school as well, as obviously that's a very challenging environment in a different way. So for example, taking a child out, letting them run around the field, or getting them to spin and spin until they're able to then sit down and focus is one way of working with children with those difficulties. Ultimately, we're totally flexible to the needs of the child and of the family. We aim for our therapy to be able to be integrated with ease into daily family life. We understand that parents are very, very busy, and giving them a programme where they think they need to book out half an hour a day or an hour a day can be very stressful and add stress to already busy lives. The way we try to do it is by understanding that family's routine and structure and weaving strategies and activities into daily life.